This,
Anthony Lucas has been a committed leader in the Fourth Ward for 18 years, fighting for jobs in our community, bringing affordable housing, engaging our seniors, and creating youth programming.
oh no, I'm sorry. No internet. I'm using my phone as a hotspot. I do apologize. I'm so sorry. I apologize for AT&T for being such idiots and canceling my service for no reason. I got to apologize. We were streaming at one point. We're still on Facebook Live, but of course, I can't play the music. Otherwise, I get cut off. So I'm still trying to reconnect the stream. But for those of you watching me right now on Facebook, and of course, YouTube, and the other one, which is Twitch. Not Twitch. I'm sorry, Twitter. I am thoroughly pissed off right now with AT&T. When they get here tomorrow, they better do something because my stream just stopped. I'm still streaming on, like I said, StreamYard, Facebook, and Twitter. But of course, yeah, I'm not too happy right now. So anyway, but I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep doing what I do right here on Bedtime Stories. Because coming up in our next hour, we've got foreplay right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. So it's not going to connect, huh? Yes. Can't do nothing. You're just relentless. Uncle Phil, I'm thoroughly upset. Woo, boy. Mad as a baby in a brothel. Mm-mm-mm. I don't know. I was okay until the phone call came through. Once the phone call came through, it knocked everything off. It knocked everything off. And I am just, whoo, not happy right now. I'm just not, just not happy at all. I'm trying to get back on the air. Oh boy. Yep, not happy at all. Not happy. Tomorrow will be a better day. I know it will. I know in my mind, but right now I am steaming up under my collar. I want to call names. I want to, get outside of my, You know, just not happy right now. Just not happy. Not happy. I cannot believe, I'm gonna have to interview this lady again. Because none of it made it to the air. So whew. I know it could be a lot worse. I know. I know all of that. Once again, in my mind, I know all of this, and it couldn't be helped. And they've been jerking me around for the past couple of days since Thursday when they shut the service down after I paid the bill. I am still not, you know, they had nerve to send me an email saying, "We're sorry to see you go." I'm like, I wasn't trying to leave. I had two accounts, one of which was at the previous address that I said, please turn that one off. I said, the new address is 64 da 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 da, not 16 McCarthy Road. So they cut everything off. I'm so upset. I remember the guy's name. That's how upset I am. And the people, one guy called me, his name was Dexter. He said, we're working on it. Your internet service should be restored by the time you get home from work. All you have to do is unplug your modem, replug it, and it should reconnect. I said, okay. And I told him, the story. I told him exactly what happened. And the guy said, you're absolutely right, sir. I have to agree with you. Whatever you say about him, I have to agree with you because I'm looking at the order and I hear what you're saying. There is no way that he should have cut everything off. Because the guy asked me, he said, why are you cutting off the service at the other address? I said, because I no longer live there. So there's no use for me paying two services for one place, a service for one place that I don't even work, live rather. I'm sorry. So, I'm just, I'm frustrated, and I'm using my phone as a hotspot to actually get, on StreamYard and Facebook, and it knocked my actual computer out, and I'm just, I just, I can't believe it. Once again, I got to apologize. I'm trying desperately to get back on the air. I'm still, of course, on Facebook talking to Uncle Phil. What's going on, Uncle Phil? I haven't seen you in a while. I know you're up early in the morning. I used to be up early in the morning. I was leaving work at the time that you were coming on. So I got a chance to check out your broadcast on Instagram. But now that I'm in the bed at 6 o'clock, I don't get a chance to hear you anymore. But, I'm glad you're on with me because you calm me down. I'm worn to a frazzle right now with AT&T. I hope they get everything situated tomorrow. It's Willie Hutch. Anything is possible. All you have to do is believe in love. Uh, I gotta do something. Let me. I know. Let me try hooking it directly. Maybe that will do something. Woo, good Lord. Yep, that is definitely life. Woo! Let me see. This should do it. Ha! Eureka! It worked. Woo! I'm back. Woo! It's back on. Woo. I'm back on, Uncle Phil. All I had to do is plug my phone directly into the computer. And it worked. Woo. Bless me, Uncle Phil. Please pray for me. Mm-mm. I just had to play that song again. Aaron Stevenson, Everything to Me, right here on Bedtime Stories. Because earlier I got kicked off. I'm, currently using a Wi-Fi hotspot, and actually it's my phone. So when she called in, she kicked the broadcast off. I was like, okay, all right. But I kept, and I tried to record most of the interview so that I could play it at later date. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite her back so that I can interview her once again and properly, and give her just due. Aaron Stevenson, Everything to Me. Make sure on all download platforms. All right. Coming up in about, 16 minutes. We're going to do foreplay right now. The Empress of Soul. This is Gladys Knight. And I got a License to Kill. Oh, yeah. It's registered. To kill. Slick Vic. Slick Vic. To kill. Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Your son. And what's going on, sir? Want to get my sights on you. Got a license. Take a move on me. Da, 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 da. Got a license to kill. To kill. To kill. License to kill. Kill. Yeah, I heard that. Joe Pepitone.
He knew the game and all the X's and O's better than anyone. In fact, generations of kids learn more of the intricacies of baseball from Brickhouse than their fathers. It was just that his philosophy was first and foremost to entertain and to promote the game he loved. He'd say, for the next few hours, forget your troubles. Let Herman Franks do your worrying for you. And if you can't join us here on good old Channel 9, then pack a lunch. Come on out here. Join us at the ballpark. Have yourself a good old-fashioned picnic. Plenty of good seats are still available.
It's been my privilege to broadcast the exploits of the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox for 40 years or more. There in Wrigley Field and Comiskey Park, I have experienced the joy and the heartbreak, probably more of the latter than the former. But Chicago and its beautifully loyal fans have had a resiliency which has kindled a perpetual flame of hope. In the fantasy of my dreams, I have imagined myself as the announcer for a Cubs-White Sox World Series, a series that would last 7 games, with the final game going extra innings, being suspended because of darkness at Wrigley Field.
If you were watching or listening to Jack Brickhouse, you always had the best seat in the house.
I think there's a line in Bob Hope's theme song that describes not only baseball, but also our business very well, Milo, our broadcasting business. And the line reads, you may have been a headache, but you never were a bore. Thanks for the memories.
unbelievable, right? When you think about it, all the games involved, from north side to south side, to basketball games, to Bears on WGN radio. It's just amazing to me what he was able to do and how he did it back in those days. And Caitlin, you and I have the conversation. I used to have the conversation with Dan about how the internet now has made our job so much more easier, right? And how they were getting their information back in the days, man. He was a trendsetter. And, man, just thinking about him and what he did, amazing, amazing history and life.
Legendary stuff for sure. Good stuff. Great story.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, you know what time it is.
Joe Pepitone on first base, baby. The big pork chop sideburns. Mm-mm. It's funny that I remember most of the Cubs players from back in the day, from like 68, 69. I was a kid then. But I remember Don Kessinger was the shortstop, Ron Santo on third base. Joe Pepitone was on first. Milt Pappas was one of the pitchers, Fergie Jenkins, Jose Cardinal was in left field or center field, Billy Williams. How do I remember those names? I don't know. Randy Huntley was the catcher. But I remember those names as a kid because my grandfather used to sit and watch the Cubs games. And I watched him watch the Cubs games. I remember the day that Ron Santo was trying to field, it was a hit, and it hit him dead in the mouth. I remember it hit him dead in the mouth. And Ron walked off the field, and before he went off, he put his hand up like, I'm okay. I might have, a few missing teeth or whatever, but I'm okay. That ball said, pow. He still caught it, though. He still caught the pitch. Of course, the runner scored, but yeah. Ron Santo, Don Kessinger, Joe Pepitone, Jose Cardinal. Oh. She was born Patricia Holt. We know her as Patti LaBelle. Love, Need, and Want You, right here on Bedtime Stories. I got to thank you all for putting up with me because, my live went off, my stream went off, and you guys are still hanging with me. Ken Watlington, Victor Jackson, Brian Henley, thank you so much. Y'all still hanging with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. There's a few other people who are hanging with me too. Let's see. Starlet Fairley, Portia Vernet, or Verrett, I should say. Uncle Phil, I appreciate you. I miss your broadcast in the morning. That's a preaching man right there. Chris Bass, I miss you as well. My niece, Ariana. My baby mama, Lori Howard. And of course, Miss Johnson, who's been following me throughout all of my marriages. Yeah, she's been following me ever since. Your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, who's Layla Holloway. Hathaway, my bad. Before the internet, before Facebook, before Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest of them, we watched WGN, not only here in Chicago, but GN was a superstation. Before cable TV, they were a superstation. So they could be seen and heard all over the world. via WGN radio, 8:20 a.m. It went all over. There were three stations in Chicago that you could pick up anywhere. One of them was WGN, which was 8:20 a.m. The other one was WCFL 1000, the voice of labor, Chicago Federation of Labor. And of course, the 50,000 watt blowtorch, the mighty WLS, the mighty 890. Yeah, WLS. I remember one year we went out of town. We went to see my great uncle in Battle Creek, Michigan. And I had a transistor radio that I kept with me all the time. And I was trying to get a radio station on there. And the only station that I could pick up was WLS. And I rode WLS all summer long. All summer long until we came back to Chicago. That's all I listened to. And back then, when you had the transistor radio, it came with a little earplug. These days, they call them earbuds. But it was like a little earplug that went in the side, and that way you could listen to the radio privately. Excuse me. These days, of course, you have earbuds, you have wireless earbuds, you got wired earbuds, and they're no more than what we used to listen to AM radios on. It's just two of them now. And like they always say, everything old is new again. Well, it is. Everything that we went through back in the day. Like, for instance, like I said, the transistor radio. Now we listen to the radio on your phone. So your phone is transformed into a transistor radio. You can listen to any station anywhere in the United States on your phone. So if you grew up in LA or wherever, you can still listen to KJLH wherever you are. Fact check, you were correct. I found this, Ron. There you go. Yep. It was a line drive. And that ball took a weird hop, and it hopped right into Ron Santo's mouth. He sustained a fractured cheekbone after being hit by a pitch from Mets pitcher Jack Fisher on June 26, 1966. Earlier in that contest, the Cubs third baseman had an extended hitting streak to 26 games with a first inning single. Thank you, Greg. Because it was like, I'm like, fact check me? Okay. And Greg, I don't know, watching the highlights because, WGN is celebrating 75 years on the air. Not only the TV station, but the radio station as well. And if you want to fact check this, WGN stands for what? World's greatest newspaper. They were owned by the Tribune. As a matter of fact, they had or still have studios right across from the old Tribune building or the Wrigley building, whichever. And once again, I don't know how I remember that, but I remember that as a kid, that ball hitting Ron Santo in the face. I remember that. And Ron came back played in the next game the next day, you know, like it was nothing, you know, nothing wrong. They were made out of iron back then, you know. All of Randy Huntley, who was the catcher, Don Kessinger, Joe Pepitone. I mean, just all of them. He said, I wasn't going to check because remember, I'm old enough. Yeah. But it was just, those were the days, you know. And, you know, like I said, I used to sit up and watch the games with my grandfather, and you know, you couldn't talk while the game was on. You know, he'd like, hey, game is on. Okay. Good night, Uncle Ron. Now, that's the 45 version. Yeah. Anyway, Stevie Wonder and Superwoman. Speaking of Superwoman, hello, Kimberly. How are you? Definitely a Superwoman. Uncle Ron Mills, thank you for checking in. Victor Jackson, I appreciate you, brother. Slick Vic. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed, but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. We've had technical difficulties all this evening. And once again, I got to thank you all for hanging in there with me. Those of you who just joined me, you didn't even know, because, you know, it's like you just joined me. So it's like, oh, everything's fine now. Yeah, it is. And I'm, you know, once again, cursing AT&T all the way to, anyway. Bedtime Stories is brought to you by our sponsors over at Grubhub. Well, once again, Grubhub is a proud sponsor of Bedtime Stories here on WOSD Radio DV Chicago, WTMB Indianapolis and Chicago. That's BiggsRadio.com. And of course, WRLNradio.com, which is a Ray Neal radio station, or Ray Neal media station, I should say. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. And I cannot play enough of this lady's music. She is, how can I put it? Like one of her mentors. She's a song stylist. Somebody printed a picture of her, Phyllis Hyman, and Nancy Wilson together. I'm like, that is a very memorable picture of the three of them together, because they personify a whole nother genre of music. They don't just sing R&B music. They don't just sing pop music. They don't just sing jazz music. They sing, period. I heard Anita Baker one time do her version of Aretha's version of what was it? like a bridge over troubled waters. I'm like, okay, Anita, I knew you had the pipes, but good Lord. She tore that song up. She tore it up. So tonight in Foreplay, we feature the music of Anita Baker. This is Good Love. Is there any other kind? I guess not. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Anyway, I'm still not happy with AT&T. They ruined my my broadcast. I can't be more pissed. To the highest level of festivity. I'm like, my service has been off since Thursday. Now, luckily, I don't come on live on Thursday. It's always a rerun. But still, they never should have cut my service off. Never. You know, once again, I'm telling the story. I had service at a previous address before. So when I moved here, I had it cut on, and, you know, since I already had an account, I said, okay, well, I'll just add an account and let the other folks enjoy that service and pay the bill. As long as they pay the bill, it was okay. Chef Greg, what's going on, sir? As long as they were paying the bill, it was cool. You know, I pay the bill here, they pay the bill there. But I got a text message saying that they no longer needed the service at that address to cut it off. Cool. So I called AT&T and I said, well, cut off the service at 16 McCarthy Road. They cut off that one. They cut off mine. So I cannot watch TV. I can't get on the internet. Nothing. You know, I got a TV with a Fire Stick. As a matter of fact, I ordered another Fire Stick, which should be here on the weekend. So I can't watch anything until they turn it back on. Now, they promised that they would turn it back on Sunday. This guy named, whatever his name was, Dexter, said that he was going to, you know, work on it. So I didn't hear from Dexter today, didn't hear from AT&T today. They were supposed to be here, they said between 8 and whatever. It was a 3-hour job. I'm like, just to replace the modem? What did this idiot Marco do? Where it just, you know, it's like I'm starting service all over again, and I already had service a week ago. So I know, right? They gonna owe me some free service because I didn't tell them to turn it off. I told them to turn it off there, not here. You know, it's just a change of address and dropping the service over there and then, just leaving it here. Because I've had service here since I moved in, which was back in July of last year. So I made sure that, the other people over there still had their service as long as they were paying for it. I didn't have a problem with that. Sure, as long as you're paying the bill, as soon as the bill come out, FYI, reminder, pay your bill. Well, they stopped paying the bill. So I said, okay, cut it off. So they cut it off. They cut everything off. I'm like, you mother. I turned into Denzel on them. I'm putting contracts out on all you. King Kong ain't got on me. I went just I just went totally off. You know, I called the guy an idiot. I thought you feel like that, Mr. Greer. I'm like, you're an idiot. You know, he had nerve to ask me, so why are you cutting your service off? I said, I don't live there anymore. Why do people normally cut service off at one address and turn it on at another address? They don't live there anymore. I don't live there anymore. Cut it off. So he cut it off. He's like, I'll show this Negro. Yeah, okay, all right. So he shut it off. Okay. Shut everything off. I was to the highest level of festivity, pissed off. I'm like, how could they? You know. So when the other fellow that I talked to, his name was what was his name? Dexter, I think he said his name was. He agreed with me. Everything that I said about Marco, you know, he agreed with me. I said, look, that guy should be fired. This is ridiculous. It's, you know, it's an inconvenience. I need my internet every day of the week. I get calls in the morning. We need this commercial done. We need this done. And the only way I can send the commercials is through the internet. Otherwise, there's no need for me to even have all of this stuff in this room if the internet doesn't work. I'm just in here talking to my damn self. So they're supposed to come back tomorrow or come out tomorrow because they were supposed to come out today. And they usually call and they say, well, you know, sir, AT&T, we're at your door. Okay, come in because I'm going back to sleep. You know, fix what you need to do what you need to do, and get mine back on. And that's it. I was pissed. I am still pissed. I want 3 months of free service. It's like, no, This is an inconvenience, a straight up inconvenience. You know, it was a simple task. Marco, you had one thing to do. You had one task, and that was to shut off the service out in Park Forest. That's it. It's so simple that my 6-year-old granddaughter could have done it because they're two different, you know, because they ask you for your account number. There are two different account numbers, two different addresses, one name, and that's mine on both of them. So cut off that one across the street and leave this one on this side of the street on. It's just that simple. What did he do? He cut it off, and somebody's calling me. And I can't take the call. And I can't. I just can't because it'll cut my service off. She just gonna have to. I can't stop. Wait it out, AJ. I'll call you back. You know, no sooner I answer the phone, it's gonna cut the broadcast off. Can't talk to you right now. Thank you. Marco did not understand the assignment. Once again, two different account numbers. Okay, on to something else. So I was told by the alderman of my ward that if I did not put in a change of address, she was going to come see me. So I thought about it, like, so why would I do that? Stop it, Ray. I needed that. Thank you. Thank you, nephew. Step, 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 step. Man's a blaster. Man's a blaster. Man's a blaster. Step, step, step. Anyway, so today I went to 200. What? $202 a month. Oh, hell to the no. Hell to the no, no. Stop it, Ray. Whew. Stop it. Stop, 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 stop. That's a blaster. That's a blaster. That's a blaster. Anyway, I'll tell you all about that later, okay? Say hi to my nephew, Radio, please. So I went to, put in an address change so that I could vote in the next upcoming election. My address is not in the database. Sir, do you have a voter's registration card? Yes. The voter's registration card it has my previous address on it, 80 Aberdeen. So I gave it to him. I said, well, why don't you use that one? Oh, then I have to go over on Racine to vote. But I'm in the 16th Ward. But I have to go to Auburn Gresham to vote. And I'm in Inglewood. So by that time, I went early because I was like, okay, I can kill two birds with one stone. They can hook me up and then I can go vote. So I have to go back tomorrow. Yeah, I have to go back tomorrow because they could not find my address in the database. So I asked them to call me later. My cousin Michael, I guess he was getting paid or volunteering or whatever. I said, this is my cousin over here. So when you all get it together, have him to call me and let me know what happened. Did they call me? No. Did AT&T call me? No. Nobody's calling. It's cool. Then this evening, leaving work, I get to my car, right? I get to my car and the car won't start. Now, I just bought a battery last week from AutoZone, brand new battery, put it in there. Saturday, my guy, Percy, shout out to Percy, he don't listen to me. So, he listens to Keith Sweat. I guess he likes that ninja. So, at no time did he change the station while we're in the car. I'm like, okay, keep listening to that. Okay. So on Saturday, he changed my oil. Well, that's not what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to fix the door so that the door would close so it wouldn't fly open when I was on the expressway. Well, this morning on the way to work, I hear this little ticking noise. I'm like, okay, he just changed the oil, but he did say that the oil sensor switch was broken. How did it get broken? Him taking it off. He broke it. So now he had to go buy the part. I'm like, fine, you go buy the part and you go put it on. I get to work. The van is bone dry. There is no oil in it. Not even no oil on the top of the engine. There's no oil. I'm like, okay, Well, I made it to work, so I'm going into work. Came back out, van wouldn't start. Well, luckily he came because I texted him. I said, look, the oil that you put in ran out. You better come do something, bro. So, he calls me at 5:55. Well, I don't get off work till 6. I'm on the board until somebody shows up, right? I can't just leave the board, unattended. I can't do that. So I have to wait for someone to show up so that they can take over on the board, right? He calls me at 5:55. All right, man, I'm outside, man. You don't have to wait. This is not Star Trek. I do not materialize outside like Spock. So by the time I got outside, it was like 6:15. He was still there. He waited, I'm on vacation this week, so, I ain't had nothing else to do. Okay. You got a wife. You got something to do. You just don't want to do it. I wish I had a wife and nothing to do. Like, baby, I ain't got nothing to do. Yeah, you do. See all this? Yeah, I got something to do right now. Yeah. I'm busy. I'm doing, yeah. So he was sitting outside. I get in the car and I'm turning. I'm like, it's not starting. He walks over to the van, right? He says, hey, man, what you doing? Trying to start the van. It's not starting. What you do? You left something on? Would you leave the lights on? I don't need lights to get to the station during the day. I didn't have anything on. I never pressed anything. The only thing I ran was the engine and the radio. That was it. Brand new battery from AutoZone. So on Saturday, after he changed the oil, he also changed the latch on the hood. Well, I didn't need the latch on the hood changed because it was closed. It's just them doors that are opening. The driver's side door and the sliding door on the side of the van. I need those fixed because those are being held by bungee cords. One is tied to the steering wheel and the other to the inside of the van. And I'll be damned if every Sunday somebody grabs that door and tries to open it. Like, okay. Yeah, keep grabbing that door. I'm going to slap you into the van. Slap you up against the van. Don't touch that door. You see the bungee cord on there. They slow. They are slow. Anyway, why are you talking about your church people? It's not the second church. It's the first church. Yeah. They don't need a pastor. They need a psychiatrist, okay? Don't say that, Al. That's not nice. Okay. So we finally get the hood up, right? Because he put the new latch on it. We finally got the hood up. And, a little cord on the inside, it has a little, thing that you pull and, well, it's gone. So in order to open it up, we had to use vice grips. Okay, so we used the vice grips, we got the hood up. He took the battery out. We went to some auto place, got the oil sensor switch. We got all of that. He had to find the tool to put it on because he didn't have all his tools in there. He said, "I'll just take this back tomorrow." I'm like, "I don't care what you're doing. I don't want no more oil running out of my van. I still got the problem with the doors, but that's minimal compared to not putting oil in the damn engine. It's like I already need an engine for the other vehicle. I don't need two engines. I'm like, okay. So needless to say, I had a very interesting evening and day. Still waiting for AT&T to call. They didn't even call. They sent me a text. We should be at your house around 8 a.m. to whatever. I go, oh, hey, get her done. I don't care. I'll get up, let you in, and I'll get back into bed. Get her done. Get my internet back on. That's it. That's all. Get it back on. You know, it's like, whoo, I tell you, talk about being pissed all day, every day. Well, not every day. I take that back. Not pissed every day. But anyway, so while I'm waiting for him to run in and out of the auto parts place and the other auto parts place, my nephew sends me this text. Here's Master Blaster's music. I'm like, who? What? Where? What? Did you listen to it yet? He texts me back. No. He said, this is Master Blaster's music. So something told me, okay, let me listen to this, this SoundCloud or whatever it is. And I hear this annoying voice. he's trying to rap over a track. He's trying to rap over a track. And he's just saying his name over and over again. And then the words dance, dance, dance. And then the words step, step, step. To the beat of this song that he claims he wrote and produced. Now, far be it from me to, poop on somebody's dream, but if you didn't write it, this is the same man that told me, oh, yeah, I know, I worked with Herb Kent. You worked with Herb Kent? Really? Oh, in that case, you don't mind me calling him right now to verify your story, correct? I didn't mean that. I took him to work once. I was a cab driver. Bruh, which one is it? Did you work with him? Did you take him to work? Was you driving a cab and you jitney? What were you doing? A bus driver? What? Herb was on the bus. So when I went to call her, he was, he's like, I ain't saying I worked with him. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So when he left my office, this was back when I was working at Kennedy King. So I called Herb anyway. I said, Herb, you know Master Blaster, a DJ named Master Blaster? And Herb said, which one? He said, there are several DJs that call themselves Master Blaster. I'm like, oh. Excuse me. So based on that popular song by Stevie Wonder, a lot of Master Blasters popped up. They kind of like that name, so everybody started calling themselves, DJ Master Blaster or Master Blaster the DJ. One guy went as far as calling himself the DJ Tornado. I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, but there is only one tornado that I know of, and his name is Roy Little, and he's deceased. He said, I was tornado before he was. And that may be true. You know, that might be true. Maybe you were before he was. You were the DJ Tornado. Maybe you were before Roy Little decided to start calling himself Tornado. But guess what? I only know of one, and that's Roy Little. Tornado, Big Daddy Woo Woo. That's the only one I know of. So for you to call yourself Tornado, okay. I can see some big DJ calling himself Tiny because, you know, growing up, there was a DJ around the corner. His name was Tiny. And I bought one of my first turntables from him, from Tiny. Well, actually, my grandfather brought it home, you know. So that's how I, you know, got introduced to, you know, to DJing and all that stuff. You know, DJ Tiny. Tiny was like 350 pounds, but they call him Tiny. So, you know, so I was DJ Fats, but anyway, so yeah, Tiny. Okay, cool, okay. But, you know, everybody who, you know, call themselves Master Blaster or, you know, DJ this, DJ that, and that's, I know, here it comes. That's why I hate to be associated with them DJs. I was at a party once, and, you know, I was DJing on one side, and there was another DJ on the other side. And so I hear the music next door, and I said, okay, let me go check this DJ out. So, you know, I walked up to him. I said, hey, how you doing? I said, you know, I'm Al Greer. You know, he's, oh, I know who you are. Yeah, yeah. I said, oh, okay. You know who I am? Cool. Okay, all right. He said, he looked me dead in the eye and said, yeah, I'm Barbecue Bobby. I said, you are, yeah, Barbecue Bobby. You know, I used to be on KKC back in the day. All right, I'm back. So I was like, I was quite baffled. I know, right? I was like, I was like, okay. Now, back in the day, I was at KKC, you know, with Walter Get Down Brown, Lloyd Devastating, whatever his last name was. Sweet D, Danny Wilson, of course, Brian Furious Frazier, Gerald Anthony Kelly. You know, those guys, you know, Pink House, yeah, Reggie Miles, and Antonio T. Bell, Edward T. Bell, all the T. Bells, you know. So yeah, I'm like, I said in my mind, I said, I don't remember you. In my mind, I didn't want to say it out loud because, you know, he said it loud and proud. I'm Bobby Q. Bobby. I'm like, the hell you're not. No, you're not, sir. But he insisted on being someone else. So I was like, okay, I'm going to let you be Bobby Q. Bobby, sir, because you obviously don't know any better. So if you're Bobby Q. Bobby, you should know who I am because I was the voice of KKC back in the day before Don Dillard. I was like, okay. I'm going to let you be Bobby Q. Bobby. I'm going to let that other guy be the DJ Tornado. And then the other one is Master Blaster. You know, it's like 50 million Master Blasters across the country because they heard that one record by Stevie Wonder from the album Hotter Than July, and they all wanted to call themselves Master Blaster. You know, the Master Blaster jamming. So everybody's Master Blaster jamming. Okay. And Vic said, and I'm Killer Kirk, and I approve this message. You know, it's like somebody dies and you just take their name, or you don't hear from them in a long time. You just take their name, huh? Now I will admit, I took a phrase when I signed off. I said blue lights, green lights, blue skies, green lights, and peace. I got that from Lon Dyson, but he's gone. You know, I didn't try to copy it while he was still alive. I waited till him, you know, for him to pass, and then I started using it as my closing because I liked the way it sounded. But I don't go around telling people that I am Lon Dyson because he's gone. And his brother Marv would be like, Alonzo, you need to stop that. Dun-dun-dun. Wrapping up foreplay. 4 plus 1 more from Anita Baker, whatever it takes, right here on Bedtime Stories. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Once again, hello to Victor Jackson, to Ray Neal, and to who else? Oh, yeah. Troy. Yeah, Troy. Anyway, you all know about my disdain for being called a DJ, right? Well, get this. A few years ago, I was DJing somewhere, and I heard this guy playing next door to me, you know, also a DJ. And I went over there and I said, hey, you know, I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm DJing next door. I'm Al Greer. I wasn't Dr. Al Greer. I'm Al Greer. And this guy reached out his hand. He said, I'm Bobby Q. Bobby. I was like, you're who? You're what? I said it to myself. I'm like, you are not Bobby Q. Bobby. No, no. I'm sorry, sir, but yeah. So I was like, okay, never mind. Let him be what he wants to be. You know, well, my thing is, wait till a person's dead if you're going to take their name. Like, you know, there's another 50 Cent out there besides the rapper that we know. And he took his name. Okay, cool. I get it. So I get it. I understand. But wait till somebody's gone to steal their name. You know, not even Barbecue Bobby Jr. You know, yeah, I'm Barbecue Bobby. No, you're not. Stop lying. You know, I'm just waiting for somebody to walk up to me and say I'm Pink House. I'm like, the devil's a liar. You know, you're not Pink House. Okay. Preston Shanks, what's going on, sir? Victor said, and I'm Killer Kirk. Yeah. Now, if you want to be Killer Kirk, you go right ahead, because Killer Kirk been dead for over 20 years. So if you want to take his name, you go right. Yeah, you go right ahead. Greg Beasley, he said, tell that to Rick Ross. Yeah, okay. Here's Leon Ware, rocking you eternally. And my name is Al Benson. Mm-mm. I know, right? You know. Well, I'm Vic too. Preston said I'm Sugarfoot. Oh no. Oh God. Oh my me. Oh, that's funny. Mm-mm-mm. uh, you know, and why would you want to be somebody else? You know, either living or dead. You know. You know. Like, hi, I'm John Travolta or something. You know. He said, I'm Barbecue Bobby. I'm like, the hell you are. Bobby ain't never been that tall. This brother was like 6'4". I'm like, are you kidding me? Mm-mm. Now, in the case of Victor Jackson and Victor V, two different. You know, Victor Jackson was on WLTH before Victor Vincent or Victor V was on. So it's like, yeah, okay. Vic said, and I'm Little Walter. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, if you Little Walter, I'm Fats Domino. Now, anyway. Ain't that a shame? You're the one to blame. Take this damn earring off. It's making my ear turn green. Like, yeah, hey man, yeah, I'm Barbecue Bobby. What? Who? Like, are you kidding me? Really? Mm-mm. Why would you want to be somebody else? That's all I'm saying. Why? Is there a reason why you want to steal somebody else's identity? You know. Now I can see if he was maybe junior, Now, if you said you were Bobby Q Bobby Jr., my dad is Bobby Q, I still wouldn't have believed it because he was 6'4". I'm like, can't be. Couldn't be. Now, I have a son who is my namesake, but he goes by Little Al, DJ Little Al. And that's it. You know, he doesn't go around telling people he's Al Greer. He just doesn't. You know, he knows the consequences of saying that he is Al Greer. So he don't do it. Because I'm Little Al. My dad is Al Greer. But I'm DJ Little Al. Okay, like Lil John, okay, cool. But he doesn't use my name. You know, just like Richard Pegue's son. He goes by DJ Cisco. The other one goes by Chris Michaels. Neither one of them used the Pegue name. They know the consequences. I'm not going to use my dad's name. I want to be accepted on my own merits. I said, okay, Chris Michaels. And we had the conversation. I said, okay, you don't want to? I was like, okay, so what's your middle name? Michael. Put an S on it, call it a day. And that's how it started. That's how he became Chris Michaels. His name is Christopher Michael Pegue. The other one is Richard Earl Pegue III. So, because Uncle Richard was a junior. So that was it. But he said, I'm Bobby Q Bobby. I'm like, no, you're not, sir. No, you're not. No. You're not Bobby Q Bobby. You're not Pink House. You're not Brian Furious Frazier. You're not Walter Get Down Brown. You're none of these guys from KKC from back in the day. Are you kidding me? You really, no, bro, no. You know, excuse me. And that takes a lot of guts to steal somebody's name, especially if they're still alive. Now, if they're dead, okay. I was doing a party once and this guy said that he was, I forgot who he said he was the son of, Lil Walter, or he was Howlin' Wolf's son or something like that. I said, so you're Chester Barnett Jr.? Is that what you're saying? Because Howlin' Wolf's real name was, Chester Burnett. Thank you, Troy. You make me feel your face. Anyway, so it's like, don't pretend like you're something that you're not, I thought about calling myself, Al Kent, like Herb Kent. I was going to be Al Kent. But I was like, my thing is be yourself. Let them say you sound like so-and-so, or your name should be so-and-so, which is how I got the nickname Peanut Butter Brother. This lady named me. I didn't name me. I didn't because I felt like these guys with these nicknames, it's like, okay. These DJs with these phony names, none of them use their real names, I remember when Joe Soto went on there, he was DJ Armstrong. This was at the suggestion of our then boss, Elroy Smith. So he made him DJ Armstrong. We had DJ Armstrong. We had Devontae Stone. Everybody had a D name. That is Leon Ware. And if the song sounds familiar, well, he co-wrote it along with Marvin Gaye. That is Come Live With Me. That is his version of it. Of course, he was the co-writer on that song, as well as other songs on the albums After the Dance and I Want You. So, yeah, Leon said, okay, I'm going to record my version of Come Live With Me. But of course, we always remember the original one. This, of course, is a alternate version of Come Live With Me from Marvin Gaye, co-written by Leon Ware on Bedtime Stories. Come live with me, baby. Understand. I'm gonna be your lover. Stevie Wonder's making a new cover version of Frank Sinatra's song, You Make Me Feel So Young. Stevie's version is You Make Me Feel Your Face. Okay. So if Stevie had a son, he would be little Stevie Wonder, right? I'm just saying. Or littler Stevie Wonder. Even more little Stevie Wonder. You know, Frank Sinatra Jr., that's the grandson. And Sammy Davis Jr. Thank you, Troy, for pointing out that Stevie Wonder is blind. Yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we've known that for over 40 years now. But thank you. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What was really funny is when Preston said, "I'm Sugarfoot." I'm like, okay, I'm done. I am so done. I'm Sugarfoot. Where to go? He would have had no idea I said that if you weren't saying it out loud. Anyway. And Victor's Little Walter. My baby don't stand for cheating, my babe. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm Barbecue Bobby, and you're not. That's some funny stuff. Take over somebody's identity. That is crazy. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, has anybody ever had their identity taken? I mean, not on Facebook. That's common. For somebody to say, "Hi, how are you doing?" I'm like, I know damn well you don't talk like that. "Hi, how are you doing? So, have you heard about the good news?" No, please tell me. And 9 times out of 10, I've already talked to that person. It is stupid. I'm like, why are you all even doing this? My brother from another mother, Calvin Bridges, who does gospel music, he has been hacked so many times. It's crazy. I'm like, every time that he's been hacked, they have a picture of him, and he's not Pete, he's not Calvin Bridges, he's like Peter Bridges or London Bridges or something like that. I'm like, are you all stupid or what? I can just call them and say, hey, you gotta, you got a stalker, bro. It is so stupid. It's like, duh. Don't you know I know these people? I remember one year it was a holiday. I was sitting outside in the backyard. I was still at home then. And I got one of those text messages. Have you heard about the good news? No, tell me about the good news, Gordon. So I'm sorry to hear about your wife. Oh yeah, she'd been sick for a while. Really? Gordon, you all just got back from Florida or Hawaii or wherever, some warm climate. So you mean to tell me she died? But she died on the plane? What? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call this person and see. I said, hey, Gordon, I'm having a conversation with you right now. He's like, yeah, I know. I hear you on the phone, Al. I said, no, someone's pretending to be you, and we're having a whole conversation. It's really crazy, man. Yeah, man. We're sitting here having a conversation, and it's not you. So he's like, really? I said, yeah. I'll get friend requests from people over and over again. Hey, this is so-and-so. Okay. At last count, I got 3 friend requests from Donald Blair. Donald Blair isn't even on Facebook that much. He runs a whole cleaners and a laundromat over on Exchange. So he doesn't have time to chit chat on Facebook and tell me about the good news. He ain't got, I'm like, he got a real job and a business. Blair's Cleaners. One of the, oh really? One of the few people who could mix R&B and jazz together, that is Marvin Gaye. And come live with me, Angel. Yeah, come over here and empty out this garbage and wash these dishes. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for listening to Victor Jackson, also to Ken Watlington, as always. I appreciate you guys. Ronnie Williams, Uncle Ron, 2 different people. And of course, Little Walter Sugarfoot and anyway, I'm so sorry. Anyway, and of course, you too, Troy. Troy is just so delusional about this Jerry Lee Lewis character. But anyway, hopefully my problem will be taken care of tomorrow, and I will have my internet back from AT&T. Marco will be fired. Marco is the one that cut it off in the first place. I write names down. When people perform services for me, I'll write their names down, no matter who they might be. That didn't sound too good at all, did it, Troy? Anyway, I'm sure you have a joke about that too. Yeah. But thank you for staying up with me as always. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Till next time, blue skies, green lights, and peace. Good night, Miss Delicious. Mm-hmm. Good night, Red. Also, thank you to Erin. I forgot to say her name. Erin, I am so sorry. Erin Stevenson. I'm going to get her back on. We're going to do it all over again. And this time with internet and not my phone as a hotspot. All right. Good night, everybody. Appreciate you all. Peace out.